Welcome everyone to today's video, where we'll be showcasing the incredible transformation journeys of our patients. In this comparison video, we'll feature 3 patients who are struggling with severe hair fall problems. So let's dive into their hair transformation journeys.
Would you believe that these 3 stunning hair transformations all began at completely different stages of baldness? Hi everyone, I'm your hair expert from QHT Clinic, and today I'm taking you through the real hair transplant journeys of 3 patients who came to us with Norwood Grade 2 baldness, diffuse grade 3 baldness, and diffuse grade 4A baldness. If you are also facing the challenges of baldness, then right now, book a consultation with our experts. Because their hair loss levels were different, each patient required a unique treatment plan, different graft numbers, different recovery phases, and different growth timelines. And that's what makes this comparison truly special. In this video, you'll see how personalized planning and advanced techniques helped us deliver natural, dense, and age-appropriate results for all 3 patients. From early growth to long-term maturity, their progress is captured at 7 months, 8 months, and an incredible 26 months post-transplant. So tell us in the comments, among all 3, whose results you found the most impressive. Before starting the hair transplant procedure, let's understand the initial condition of each patient in detail, because every stage of baldness requires a customized approach and surgical planning. Patient 1 presented with Norwood Grade 2 baldness, which had developed over the past few years. The hair loss primarily affected his facial framing, and it became more clearly visible after trimming his hair. At this early stage, recession had begun mainly along the hairline and frontal zone, while the rest of the scalp, including the mid-scalp and crown area, retained healthy and dense hair growth. Before visiting QHT Clinic, he had tried multiple non-surgical treatments in an attempt to restore his hair, but none delivered satisfactory results. To gain confidence in the procedure and our approach, he closely followed QHT Clinic and our patient results for nearly 1.5 years before finally deciding to move forward with his hair transplant journey. Patient 2 presented with diffuse grade 3 baldness. His hairline started receding around 2018, after which he spent nearly 1.5 years trying various home remedies and also took treatments from nearby dermatologists. Unfortunately, none of these approaches delivered noticeable or lasting improvement. By the time he consulted us, the hairline had receded into a clear M-shaped pattern, leading to visible thinning across the frontal and temporal regions. The density in these areas had reduced diffusely, making the scalp more apparent under normal lighting. However, despite the frontal loss, the mid-scalp and crown areas still maintained relatively good hair density, providing a strong foundation for a planned and conservative restoration approach. Patient 3 presented with an advanced pattern of baldness, with hair loss beginning 5 to 6 years ago at a very young age. He first noticed excessive hair fall during his 11th standard, and by the time he completed 12th, the hair loss had progressed so rapidly that he felt compelled to start wearing a cap regularly. For nearly 5 years, he avoided public places without a cap, as the thinning had affected his confidence. When he visited the clinic for his hair transplant, the frontal area appeared completely sparse, with no visible traces of the original hairline, making the front profile appear almost bald. Diffuse thinning was also present in the mid-scalp region, contributing to an overall weak density in the top area. The crown region, however, was relatively less affected and showed potential to be managed effectively with PRP therapy and medications, while the frontal and mid-scalp regions required surgical restoration due to the advanced nature of hair loss. These stages of hair loss affected their social image because of the perceived loss of youth and attractiveness. Across all 3 patients, the common factor was a strong and stable donor area, the key element that determines the success and natural results of a hair transplant. If you're also noticing hair thinning, you can simply share your pictures with us. Our doctors will help you understand your current stage and guide you towards the best treatment option. Once the detailed scalp assessment was completed, our experts moved on to the next one of the most crucial steps, which is hairline design. A well-designed hairline is about restoring facial balance, proportion, and natural harmony. At QHT Clinic, every hairline is planned with precision, keeping in mind the patient's facial structure, age, degree of hair loss, and aesthetic goals. For patient 1, our experts created a custom-shaped hairline that complemented his youthful facial proportions. The affected frontal area was carefully outlined to maintain his his natural forehead size, while adding a subtle yet defined frame to his face. Since his baldness was at an early stage, a non-shave technique was chosen to ensure minimal disruption and a seamless, natural-looking result. For patient 2, who was in a mid-stage of baldness, the frontal recession was deeper and followed an M-shaped pattern. His hairline was designed slightly lower, with softly rounded temporal corners, to restore a balanced frontal appearance, while keeping the design age-appropriate and natural. For patient 3, there were no visible traces of the original hairline, so a completely new hairline had to be recreated. Using key reference points based on his facial symmetry and proportions, the peak points were carefully marked to defy knee a natural-looking shape. Along with this, the frontal and mid-scalp areas were precisely outlined for implantation. These markings act as a surgical roadmap, guiding our team throughout the procedure and ensuring that every graft is implanted exactly where it belongs, resulting in a natural, well-balanced, and long-lasting outcome. Once the hairline was finalized, the procedure began by injecting the local anesthesia into the recipient and donor areas to make the procedure completely painless and comfortable. Once the scalp was numbed, slit creation was performed according to the natural flow and direction of the existing hair. This step is one of the most crucial phases of the surgery, as the angle, depth, and orientation of each slit determine how naturally the transplanted hair will grow and blend with the patient's existing hair. Proper slit creation ensures a seamless transition between the transplanted and non-transplanted areas, giving a natural-looking density and FL-out. Following this, the extraction and implantation process began using the QHT, Quick Hair Transplant technique, where grafts were extracted and implanted simultaneously. This advanced approach minimizes graft out-of-body time, preserves follicle vitality, and enhances the overall survival rate of the transplanted grafts. For all 3 patients, the grafts were implanted according to the zones. For patient 1, single and thin hair follicles were implanted in the hairline zone, creating a natural look. In the affected frontal zone, double and triple hair follicles were implanted, creating a fuller look. In his case, a total of 2,000 grafts were implanted, all extracted from the patient's safe donor zone. For patient 2, also single and thin hair follicles were implanted in the hairline zone in an irregular pattern, creating a soft appearance. In the frontal area, to create a dense, voluminous appearance, double and triple hair follicles were implanted. In this case, a total of 2,700 grafts were implanted, all extracted from the patient's safe donor zone. For patient 3, single and thin hair follicles were implanted in the hairline zone for a natural appearance. In the affected frontal area, beside the hairline, double and triple hair follicles were implanted to provide natural density. In the mid-scalp area, double and triple hair follicles were implanted, creating a voluminous appearance. In his case, a total of 3,800 grafts were implanted, all extracted from the patient's safe donor zone. Through this precise approach, each patient's graft was implanted according to their unique baldness grade, ensuring balance and long-term density retention. If you want to know more about the procedure, comment hair transplant. Post-surgery, patient 2 regularly shared his scalp pictures from the initial days to monitor his recovery and progress. In the first 3 days, scabs began forming over the transplanted area, which is a normal part of the healing process. By day 4, 5, and 6, these scabs became slightly harder as the grafts settled securely into the scalp. On the 7th day, the patient took his first supervised head wash, after which the scabs started to soften. By the 8th day, most of the scabs had naturally fallen off, and with continued gentle washing, the scalp became clean, healthy, and well-healed, indicating smooth recovery and good graft retention. 1 month post-transplant, all 3 patients visited the clinic for their first follow-up and PRP session. At this stage, early healing and the beginning of the shedding phase were carefully evaluated. For patient 1, in just 1 month, the shedding phase has concluded as all the follicles have already shed, as visible in the transplanted area. There was also a mild redness present in the transplanted area, which was temporary and expected to fade away with time. The native hair continued growing at its natural pace, and overall scalp healing appeared stable, clean, and well settled. Patient 1 showed a smooth and healthy recovery in 1 month. For patient 2, the 1-month follow-up revealed the onset of the shedding phase, indicating that the transplanted follicles were transitioning into their resting stage. The healing process was progressing well, and importantly, no redness or irritation was observed in the transplanted area. The scalp appeared clean clean and healthy, reflecting good graft acceptance. Native hair density remained stable, providing a strong base for upcoming regrowth in the following months. Patient 3 showed around 30% shedding in the transplanted area at the 1-month stage. This partial shedding was expected due to his advanced grade of baldness and larger implanted area. The scalp was healing well without signs of infection or abnormal redness. Although visible growth had not yet begun, the grafts were securely settled and the recovery was on track for progressive results in the coming months. The shedding phase varied among all 3 patients due to differences in baldness grade and the individual's unique hair growth cycles, as every patient's follicles respond differently after transplantation. Patient 1 experienced early completion of shedding. Patient 2 entered the shedding phase on time, while patient 3 showed partial shedding. On this visit, all 3 patients underwent their first PRP session, which helps improve blood circulation, nourish transplanted follicles, and strengthen existing hair. PRP accelerates healing, reduces inflammation, and supports faster, healthier hair regrowth in the upcoming growth phases. Instead of PRP, patients can also opt for GFC, growth factor concentrate therapy, which is an advanced and more refined alternative to PRP. GFC delivers highly concentrated growth factors directly to the scalp, making it more effective in stimulating follicle strength and faster regrowth. It is particularly beneficial for individuals with hair thinning who have not yet progressed to advanced baldness, as it helps strengthen existing hair, control hair fall, and slow further hair loss progression. If you want to know more about the PRP and GFC therapies, then right now book a consultation with our experts or visit our Delhi branch, which is located at D15 Outer Ring Road, Prashant Vihar, Sector 14, Rohini, Delhi. 3 months post-transplant, all 3 patients return to the clinic for their next follow-up and PRP therapy session. At this stage, the transition from shedding to early growth becomes more evident. 3 months post-transplant, patient 1 showed clear signs of progress. Since his shedding phase had already concluded within the first month, the transplanted follicles had successfully transitioned into the growth phase. Early baby hair growth was visible across the transplanted area, indicating active follicle function. At the same time, his native hair continued to grow and mature naturally, adding to overall density. In the meantime, the donor area had healed completely. For patient 2, the 3-month follow-up showed that the shedding phase had progressed to nearly 90%, which is a normal and expected part of the hair growth cycle. Although visible growth from transplanted follicles had not yet begun, the grafts were securely settled beneath the scalp. His native hair was growing in a healthy and stable manner, and the overall scalp condition appeared well healed and on track for upcoming regrowth in the next phase. On this follow-up, patient 3 had completed the shedding phase, and the transplanted follicles were now entering the early growth phase. While visible hair growth was still minimal, the scalp showed healthy recovery and good graft stability. The donor area had healed completely, and the overall scalp condition appeared balanced and well-nourished. This stage marked the foundation for gradual and consistent hair growth in the coming months. The difference in each patient's growth timeline occurs due to individual hair growth cycles, scalp condition, and healing response. Every scalp reacts differently after transplantation, which is why growth appears earlier in some patients and later in others. If you have any questions regarding the shedding phase, then drop them in the comments section. Our experts will guide you. 6 months post-transplant, patient 2 shared a clear and encouraging update on his progress. At this important mid-stage, the hairline had started taking a well-defined shape, and the frontal region showed healthy, visible, and voluminous hair growth. The transplanted hair blending seamlessly with the native hair, creating a natural and balanced appearance. Although a few mild gaps were still visible, this is completely normal at the 6-month mark, as not all follicles enter the growth phase simultaneously. Some hairs are still maturing beneath the scalp and will gradually emerge and thicken over the coming months. Overall, the scalp appeared healthy, the donor area was fully healed, and the progress indicated strong graft survival with continued improvement expected in the next growth phase. 7 months post-transplant, patient 1 shared a few progress pictures that clearly highlighted his results. By this stage, his hairline appeared well-defined and natural. In the frontal area, the transplanted hair had matured well and blended seamlessly with his native hair. Along with these images, he also shared his positive feedback, expressing satisfaction with the natural density and his overall experience with QHT Clinic. If you are also ready to bring back your hairline and are looking for the best clinic, then right now, book a consultation consultation with our experts. 7 months post-transplant, patient 3 visited the clinic for his final progress review, marking a major milestone in his hair restoration journey. During this visit, our experts observed that his newly designed hairline had become sharply defined, appearing natural and perfectly aligned with his facial proportions, which significantly enhanced his overall facial framing. The frontal area and mid-scalp, which were previously sparse, were now filled with dense, voluminous hair growth. The transplanted hair blended seamlessly with his native hair, creating a uniform and natural appearance without any visible transition lines. The improved density across the top of the scalp gave a fuller look from all angles. Additionally, the hair texture appeared healthy, with good thickness and consistent growth patterns, indicating strong graft survival and proper follicle maturation. Overall, the scalp exhibited even and balanced hair growth, restoring not just coverage, but also confidence. This transformation brought back his youthful, confident look. 8 months post-transplant, patient 2 shared his final transformation results. By this stage, his hairline appeared well-defined, complementing his facial proportions and giving him a refreshed, youthful appearance. The frontal area, which initially showed thinning, now exhibited thick and voluminous growth with excellent texture and natural shine. The transition between transplanted and native hair was completely seamless, making it impossible to distinguish between the two. The overall scalp coverage was uniform, reflecting optimal graft survival and consistent growth. The density achieved was age-appropriate and natural, enhancing his facial harmony and restoring his confidence. At this stage, patient 2 could easily style his hair in any way he desired, enjoying natural movement and a fuller look. His transformation highlighted the importance of precise planning, proper aftercare, and patience, key factors that led to long-term, realistic results. 26 months post-transplant, patient 1 shared his long-term results, and the transformation looked completely settled and natural. By this stage, the hairline had fully matured, appearing soft, realistic, and perfectly suited to his facial features. The frontal area showed strong, even density, and the transplanted hair blended so well with his native hair that it was impossible to tell which hair was transplanted. The hair had also become thicker and stronger over time, giving the scalp a healthy and fuller appearance from every angle. There were no visible gaps or patchiness, which reflects good graft survival and proper surgical planning. Most importantly, the results remained stable even after 2 years, showing that the transplant was designed with long-term success in mind. Overall, this journey wasn't just about hair restoration, it was about regaining confidence and comfort in everyday life, and patient 1's 26-month results truly reflect that. Before the transplant, patient 1 had early hair loss with a receding hairline, which affected his facial framing, even though the rest of his scalp was healthy. It wasn't severe, but it was noticeable. After 26 months, his results look completely settled. The hairline feels natural, soft, and age-appropriate. The density in the frontal area blends perfectly with his existing hair, giving him a clean, confident, and long-lasting look. Patient 2 came in with moderate hair loss, where the hairline had receded in an M shape and the frontal area looked thin. The mid-scalp and crown were still holding well, but the front clearly needed correction. By around 8 months, his hairline started shaping up nicely. The frontal area showed healthy growth. Everything else looked natural and on track for fuller results. Patient 3 had the most challenging starting point. His front area was almost completely bald, with no visible hairline and thinning in the mid-scalp. This had a big impact on his confidence for years. At 7 months, the change was striking. A new hairline was clearly visible. The front and mid-scalp were filled with dense hair, and his overall appearance looked younger and more confident. Each patient started at a different stage of hair loss, so their journeys were never going to look the same. Patient 1 showed quicker stability because his hair loss was in the early stage. Patient 2 followed a steady, middle ground growth pattern. Patient 3, despite advanced baldness, saw the most dramatic visual change due to proper planning and higher graft coverage. This comparison proves one thing clearly. It's not about how advanced the baldness is, but how well the treatment is planned and executed. If you also want a painless surgery experience, then right now, book your slot. Give a call or drop a message, our team will reach you out. Or visit any of our branch model colony, Haridwar D15, Outer Ring Road, Prashant Vihar, Sector 14. 13, Rohini, Delhi, Nursing Home, bearing plot number 3, Sector 46, Gurugram, Haryana, opposite Hotel Park Hyatt, road number 2, Banjara Hills, Hyderabad, Telangana.
You have just seen the transformation journeys of our previous patients. Now, let's meet our next patient who was struggling with hair fall issues. Let's hear about his journey in his own words.
Well, my mom and dad said, "Do you really need it? I mean, you have got married, you have got career settled, you're doing well in your life." However, they don't know what I'm going through.
If you're ready to transform your look and regain your confidence, then visit QHT Clinic in Haridwar, Delhi, Gurugram and Hyderabad. Book your consultation today and take the first step toward your own stunning transformation.
Hi, my name is Mohammad Mobin. I am from Muradabad, UP, Uttar Pradesh, and I came here QHT for my hair transplant. So I heard about QHT through the social media, but more importantly through my classmate, and he told me about QHT. He went through the surgery. I saw him by my eyes and I was quite happy and satisfied with his result. And I thought, let me go to QHT. Even before coming to QHT, I've been to a couple of other places. So yeah, my hair fall I've been experiencing for past 10 years approximately. But due to, I can say it's due to my stress, my study, or there were so many things going on in the life. But over the time I have tried shampoos, I have tried gel or oil, many kind of medicine, but mostly minoxidil. And however, but I never was satisfied with the result because I did not do it for a very long time. I think I did for a couple of months and I was tired and I was not happy, then I quit it. I have done everything. I think the hair transplant is the only solution for me. That's what I thought, and that's why I'm here at QHT. Just by experiencing or looking or researching, of course I can say I had did a lot of research on the base of that. However, the word surgery itself scares you, because it means people thinking operation, it means a cut, it means a lot of needling, pinning. So that kind of word itself is scaring people. However, by looking and experiencing, talking to people, and they say, no, it's quite professional and it's been used, this medicine, you don't have to go through a really severe pain. So it's okay. I mean, of course, thousands of people wouldn't have done it if it was very, very scary or very painful. People would have run away out of your clinic in the middle of the surgery. So I think it's okay, and we're living in a new world which AI, 21st century, a lot of technology, and that's why it's painful. Okay, so question about being cheap or good or quality. I believe in moderate, not too expensive, not too cheap, because you have a right to spend your money wisely. But before, you should do some research. I have seen people in the same industry with lack of knowledge, less degree, or they went to some place and learned for a few months and now they're becoming astronaut overnight. But it doesn't happen. So anything what I can say is research is more important, word of mouth, listening to people, visiting page, see how much experience, how many surgeries they have performed. On the base of that. So I like QHT because it's quite moderate, it's in the middle. They're not very cheap, they're not very expensive, and the result of the people that I've seen is quite satisfactory. Yeah, so when I started losing hair, I was worried, especially when I wake up in the morning, see a lot of hair on my pillows, whenever I put my hand in my hair, because then I don't want to see the hair on my hand. However, what makes me more worried furthermore is because inferiority complex. People do say, no, you don't know, you have it, everybody have it. People short height, they have this complex, people no hair, they have this complex. So yes, I started losing hair because of a stressful life, because of education, traveling, and I have lived in multiple countries and cities, water and food, not eating on time. So many factors contributed. I knew it, but I couldn't do it much because of what is happening in the life. I was young, and initially when you lose the hair, you feel like it's one of those things. But over the year and time, you realize, oh no, this is going deeper, this is going serious. And then by the time you start taking something, you're also impatient. You use some product for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you don't see results, like onion juice, like a horse shampoo, like this extra product. People do say they have a good result, maybe they use for years. However, my hair fall kept falling for some years, and eventually when I'm not in a stressful phase of my life, it stopped. For past 5 years, I don't have hair fall. I'm enjoying it, but now I want to improve it. I want to bring it back because I'm feeling inferiority complex sometimes, and I travel the world, so for me it's very important as my personality. As a pilot, our life is quite stressful because constant learning. We don't stop learning. We have a checks every 3 to 6 months, 12 months. We have to keep our license recurrency training current. We have to also write multiple exams every 3 to 6 months or 12 months. For that, there's a stress always going on in your life. That stress and the personal stress, plus now you want to travel through the world, so you're going through the many airports and many cities and countries. You want to look good, because what they say, first impression is the last impression and last remain the last. So because of that, even I put cap sometimes because I don't want people to look at me or judge me. So for that reason, for me it's important. Personality, keeping in with your profession or keeping it just to give confidence. So you can stand by other people, with full confidence. Well, my mom and dad said, do you really need it? Oh, you have got married, you have got career settled, you're doing well in your life. However, they don't know what I'm going through. Getting married or getting job doesn't mean you are complete in your life. There's so much still needs to be done. Social media, cameras, selfies, every second hour people say, let's take a selfie. Then I have to stand like this. No, here. Oh shit, my hand is coming. No, keep it like this. So there's so much is going on, which our parents are not into it. For them, it's different story. My friends, even my brother, then them, they say, you know what, if you need it, if you feel like, go for it. But again, they have their own say. But me, I don't want to be negative from the people. I want to take some decision and go for it and feel for it. I don't want to regret after 10 years. I'm hoping from QHT is a professionalism and maximum caring, and I want to go from here happily. Treatment, professionalism, that's the more important for me. I want things to be done in such a way it should benefit me the most because I'm the client. Client is everything for every business. For me, if you come to my client, I will treat you like one of the best treatment. So I want professionalism so that I can enjoy the results. Well, me, I like doing this like a Shah Rukh Khan, so I'm going to start doing that. And I am very, what you call mingling kind of person. I mingle to many cultural. I have friend circle, work from the black culture, white culture, brown culture, all the cultures. So people, and I mingle very quickly. I'm a very outdoor party type. So I will start enjoying with my company, with my people, and start telling them this is what it is. I won't say racism about the balding or the hair loss. There is other racism, which we all know. I don't have to speak here. However, yes, I have a lot of friends from Europe, America, Middle East, Asian, Malaysia or Chinese countries. Everybody feel the lack. This hair fall is not good. Everybody feels shame about it. Everybody, even there are people who make fun of it. And it's not like we Indian thing, okay, this guy have said something. No, it's all over the world. And I've seen white people are more conscious about this. They even use more hair product, more hair caring than even Asian. So this thing is in every part of the world, people facing this problem, and everybody wants to fix this problem. And everybody wants to look good. And I think hair play is very important. Because this part you can't hide it. How long can you hide it? One day you're gonna remove your cap or your professionalism, whichever part you come from. So hair, I think, is playing crucial role, important role, vital role. So for me, hair is just being, if something can be done, let's not. Because until hair transplant didn't come, people were like quiet. Okay, you know what? We don't have any. Since we found this new surgery, new procedure, people wants to use it. Day before yesterday, Delhi branch, QHT, and they did not have a slot available for me. So I asked them because of my timing, I need it. So they accommodated me in Haridwar QHT, which I appreciate. They told me in that branch 5,000 to 5,500. Graft will be approximately on my head, plus minus 2 to 300, which is okay. And honestly, I'm feeling excited. I'm not feeling nervous. As I said, I've been doing too much research. So I have took the scare part out of me already. So I'm just excited to see new of me. Totally, I will be going for my surgery today. And then I will see you soon after my result. I'll tell you my experience.
This is a patient's pre-treatment condition. As you have already heard from his testimonial experience, it is true that getting married or settling into a career does not define a complete life. This is exactly what our patient shared with us, which is why he chose hair transplantation to enhance his appearance and regain confidence. Before the procedure, he was facing severe challenges due to diffuse grade 6 baldness. His hairline had almost completely lost hair, with only a few miniaturized follicles visible on the scalp. The frontal area, mid-scalp, and crown were extensively affected, showing complete damage in a diffuse pattern of baldness. In this diffuse pattern condition, hair thinning is spread across the entire scalp, making the scalp clearly visible due to deeply thinned hair. Thankfully, he had a strong donor area, which played a significant role in his hair transplant journey and contributed greatly to the success of the procedure. After carefully examining the scalp, our experts trimmed the hair and performed a through scalp wash. A custom-shaped hairline was then designed, positioned slightly lower in the middle and placed at a precise and ideal distance from the glabella point. While designing the hairline, our experts also accurately marked the entire affected area to guide the implantation process and ensure balanced coverage. Once the marking was completed, the follicles were implanted with exceptional precision. Specialists at QHT clinics have designed multiple hairline patterns tailored to the facial structure of patients across all grades of hair loss and have successfully created over 10,000 plus natural-looking hairlines to date. Want a perfectly natural hairline that suits your face? Book your appointment with our experts today and start your transformation.
Hi, myself Mobin. Today I'm sitting here after the post-surgery of my hair transplant at QHT. I just came out of OT, so I'm not very energetic. There were some minor things that we already spoken about. However, I expected the professionalism. There was a profession. So the surgery part started for the slitting first day. Was a little bit painful for me because of local anesthesia. Certain point in your head you have sensitive area. So I felt it, and they did ask me, any doctor perform any surgery, he keep you engaged, keep you asking. So first day was quite good. Second day, but over in the end, I'm happy because my density is good. So whoever is keen to do surgery, like I did it, you have to be prepared. You have to be mentally prepared. It's not as smooth as people think. I mean, it's a 2 or 3 day procedure where you do go through serious attention of doctor with a lot of needlings and pinnings. So no, it's not 100% painful, but yes, there is a place. Start with the pain because you need anesthesia. They do use certain technology like a vibrator to minimize it. What I experienced in last 4 days, today is my 4 days, so out of 10, I'll give you 7.5. Out of 5, I'll give you 4.
After the marking was completed, slits were created. Before the procedure began, our experts administered local anesthesia to ensure that the patient remained completely pain-free. This helped our experts maintain proper direction during graft implantation while also keeping the patient comfortable and relaxed throughout the procedure. Once extracted, the grafts from the donor area were immediately implanted using the QHT technique. Our experts implanted single, thin hair follicles in the hairline zone using a zigzag pattern, which enhanced the patient's facial structure and created a natural-looking hairline. In the marked frontal and mid-scalp areas, double and triple hair follicles were implanted to provide improved density and volume. Each graft was carefully placed at the correct angle and direction to achieve natural-looking results. Half of the scalp was covered on the first day and the remaining half was completed on the second day. As visible on the patient's scalp, the entire surgery was completed over 3 days. During the procedure, a total of 5,200 grafts were implanted. After the surgery, the patient was advised to wear a surgical cap continuously for 5 to 8 days to protect the scalp from dust and sunlight. He was also instructed not to scratch the scalp in case of itching and to apply a saline spray twice daily to keep the transplanted area clean and well moisturized. If you want to know more about the procedure, comment hair transplant. Our experts will tell you every aspect of hair transplant. This was our patient's surgery experience, which we have shared with you today. We will continue to share his journey with you in the coming months as well. If you found the patient's experience helpful and are considering a hair transplant for yourself, feel free to book your consultation with our experts today. Also, do not forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon, as you will receive upcoming updates that will help you stay informed with day-by-day progress and results. Thank you for watching.